Hello, kubetuesday. In this episode of kubetuesday, I would like to introduce you to how to use the AWS CDK to create an Amazon EKS cluster. Let's take a look. So, come down here, just go down into kubetuesday, and let's do make your EKS 101. Go down in there. Let's go into that, and now do a CDK init app -l equal TypeScript initializes this particular project. Just takes a few moments. Excellent. So what do we have here? We have a CDK project. Hooray! Let's go and open up the file. If we go look in bin and lib here, we have the eks101.ts right there. Don't really need to modify that necessarily. But then we have the lib here, the eks101-stack.ts. So I'm going to go open that. Of course, I could open it in my friendly VI at the bottom here, or we could go and, well, just open it in my little IDE at the top, up there. So let's come in here into kubetuesday. Go down into this EKS 101. Here we are. Open up lib. Just going to expand it here. And then this EKS 101-stack.ts. All right. Got that at the top. Let's just hide the terminal at the bottom. So here's the baseline. But this is not an EKS cluster. This is like an SQSQ or something, right? We could use that. Use this up here. So we're going to replace these two ingredients. But with what? Let's take a look. Over here in this article, announcing the new AWS CDK EKS v2 L2 constructs. So some layer 2 constructs here. CDK, you can go and check those out here. That link there, new L2 construct for EKS. The link to this article and the link to then that alpha module listed here. So one thing we're going to need to do is take this path right here for this module, and let's go back into our shell over here. Okay, I knew I needed a terminal for something, right? So let's do just an npm install -g or whatever you want, and then go and install that AWS EKS v2 alpha module. So if you haven't installed that before, it should go and add that in. Right, now we're ready for the stuff at the top. Let's get rid of that console. We don't need that terminal anymore. Well, we'll need it later. Okay, so in this construct library, great examples in here. This is the real official documentation. Explains what this is all about. Layer 1, layer 2 constructs in the CDK if you're not familiar with those. This is it. So minimal example of defining an EKS cluster. This is really all you need, is to go in and say, I want an EKS cluster, Kubernetes version. Here, example they use is version 133. Great. And we get a little EKS cluster, connect in there, manage node group, Fargate profile, auto-scaling group behind the manage node group. Beautiful. Control plane, data plane, whole deal. That describes a little bit about that. Provisioning a cluster down here, you just specify it straight up that way. If you want to go in and specify auto mode, that really is a default here. But if you wanted to explicitly declare it, you could certainly do that. Just add in this default capacity node type. And well, we already had the comma up here. So you don't really need to add that. I already have that. So we could explicitly specify this right here as an example. So it goes over the documentation here. It goes over further examples of going over different node pools that you might want, different Fargate profiles that you might want, and so on for your cluster infrastructure, capacities, and so on. But let's go back to the article. Over here, we have a little bit of background on what this is all about using this. So take a look here. Here is an example. I'm going to go down a little bit further. This is a baseline example again we're just at that one line, Kubernetes v132 right there. I'm going to go down a little bit further to another example where they mentioned a Fargate cluster. We could do a Fargate cluster, just no EC2 if you want. And then in here, add a KubeCube layer there. Auto mode here. Let's use this one. So I'm just going to copy this snippet here. And there's probably a copy box there, but I'm just going to copy and paste the old-fashioned way here. And hop on over here. And we have our example of define code for a stack here. Going to drop that in there. Let's yank the import there. Drop that up top. Don't need the SQS import there. Whoops, let's outdent that there a little bit. So at the top here now, we have this import as EKSv2 from that npm install package we did, the AWS EKSv2 alpha. Great. Now, down in here, I'm going to get rid of this comment here about the SQS queue, unless you want to create a queue as well. That would be a whole lot of fun. And in here, let's just indent that just a touch. And whoops, sorry. The old-fashioned way there. And here, I'm going to change this to 3.3 instead of the 32 there. And auto mode, again, that is a default, but I'm going to leave that line in there just to be explicit. And we could add in whatever additional ingredients we wanted here. But let's just keep it simple. Okay, that's it right there. So really only taking those 3 or 4 lines in the middle there, making sure we have up at the top that import at the top there. This is it. It's all you really need to do from a baseline CDK project. We did a CDK init, then went down into there, edited this here stack.ts file. All right. So now let's save that. Make sure I don't forget to go in and save it. And then hop on back down to our friendly neighborhood terminal here. And we can do a synth. We could do a deploy or destroy here. So any of those kinds of commands. So let's just go and do a CDK synth here. And then we will get a CloudFormation template that we could use to deploy that. We can go in and analyze that. Look at the different components that we're going to have in here. All the security information from identity and networking of security included in here, and so on. We could just go and, well, we can just open that up. I mean, if we wanted to save it and then go and look at that. So you can go and also do then your CDK deploy there and deploy that out and create your cluster. That's it really. Deploy an EKS cluster with just a little snippet using the AWS CDK. Hope you enjoyed this episode of Kubetuesday.